3, 2, 1. Recording. It's live. It's on 9 seconds now. It's hard to see this little circle there, but that's where the counter is. That's where the time counter for the video recording is, right there. So, also, before I start this video and get into these 11 videos, I want to say these 11 videos are my answer to the complaint. These 11 videos is my response to me receiving the notice itself to reallocate the complaint that's against me. So I want to just say this one time very clearly and make sense of it. October 31st, 2017, she walked out the door. Sometime in between October 31st and December 25th, 2017, she went and paid Nikki Reed and obtained her as her attorney to represent her. She turned in 2 affidavits that was from the time period of October 31st and December 25th of 2017. In the affidavits, it had the same complaints about whatever the complaints that is in the affidavit. Those complaints was from 2017 in between October 31st and December 25th. There's only one time that she walked away and left at that point, which was Halloween. When she came back on December 25th, 2017, she went to Nikki Reed's office. We went to Nikki Reed's office. All of us. I even took the kids. All 4 of us went to Nikki Reed's office, and she canceled her retainer. She wrote a check from Nikki Reed for $19.12, the remainder of the $2,000 that she paid to retain her, and she only used $88 for the time that she got paid until the time she said drop the case. This was the first time the case was dropped, in the sense of when Heather came back on Christmas, that she was satisfied. She was satisfied that the complaints no longer existed. She told her drop the case. So when she left the second time, January 19th, 2018, Nikki Reed already knew that she came back on Christmas, that she canceled the case on the 27th, and then eventually, like I'm saying, she left on January 19th, 2018. So, when I get court papers in June 21st, 2018, to go to court in July, and then later in September, and then later in November that was canceled for the second time, when I got those papers of her signed affidavit and the notice to reallocate did not say Heather Seabolt left on Halloween, came back on Christmas, and left again on January 19th, 2018. It only said that she left it said I kicked her out on Halloween. Okay? So, it did not include when she came back and left a second time. Because she didn't redo a new affidavit. She used the old affidavit from 2017. She didn't make a new 2018 affidavit, so she skipped the whole time that she came here and left. So when we went into court and she said it had been 9 months since I'd let her see them, which wasn't true, the case was Nikki already knew she came back and left again a second time and never included that in the 2018 affidavit and 2018 notice to reallocate. She skipped out the second time that she left. Okay, so now it's 2021 and she refiles the same paperwork all the way from 2017. As in, she came back again a second time, November 10th, 2018, and left a third time, December 18th, 2018. So now when this new motion comes, it's the identical paperwork as 2017 with adding that she came in November and it says I kicked her out in December. But again, because she left off because the first time that she filed this, the second time she left didn't exist. It only showed once. When she filed the second time, she didn't include the second time. For 18, she went with 2017's paperwork. So it skipped the second time that she left. So now that she filed the same paperwork from 2018 all the way in 2020 again, which is really from 2017, it also, again, for the second time in court, it does not include the second time she left. She left off the second time she left, the second time that she was retained, and the first time that she filed. So since she did that and she filed again a third time, the second time she was retained, as in now, she again also didn't include the time that she left out the second time. She just left it out again for the third time. So I'm saying, the first time the affidavits were written and the first time that Nikki Reed was retained, it only pertained as the one time that Heather left. The second time that she was obtained, and when the second time for the affidavits and the first time the paperwork was actually filed, it again did not include the second time. She left it off of the case to gain pity and sympathy, to leave out a time span of events that really happened so that she would get visitation, which she got. But it was because that she lied in open court. It was because Attorney Reed lied on court record. Also, by leaving out the second time on the affidavits and the notices filed. So now when she redid it, she couldn't include the second time on the third time, or she would have been busted in the lie that she left it off the second time. So now when she filed this paperwork for the third time, it would be the second time that she didn't include the two times that Heather left the second time. She couldn't go back and fill in a blank space on this paperwork since she left it out on the second time, unless she would have been blatantly, openly busted that she purposely left it off the second time. So this is the third time that this has been left off of here. So when I say that Nikki Reed was aware, when I say Attorney Reed was aware of what was going on, this is what I mean by when I say that Nikki Reed knows what was going on. She left off the second time when she filed it the second time, and she left off the second time when she just now filed it the third time. But she is aware that she was here a second time and knows that she had to leave a second time to file it the third time. So she filed it third time. She's aware that she was here a third time. She's aware that she left a third time. The time before this, when she filed it the second time, but she wasn't here. That's why she filed it the second time. Also, she was aware that she came here the second time. So it is more than apparent. It is more than manifest. It is more than made known to you that Attorney Reed, in fact, did know that Heather Seabolt came here the 25th of December, went there, canceled the case the first time, as when she was here for the 2 days from the 25th to the 27th, the complaints were satisfied. And then in 2018, she refiled the same thing. I got the paperwork in June. I went to court in July. I went to court on September 20 in September. And by the time the hearing in November came, she dismissed the case, as she was again for the second time satisfied that the complaints no longer existed and everything was fine and dandy and taken care of. So now, when she leaves, the complaints exist. When she comes back, she's satisfied and the complaints are no longer complaints. When she leaves, the complaints come back again and they exist again. When she comes back, she drops the case, the complaints are satisfied, the case no longer exists. She leaves again, she files the same complaints from 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. The information in this affidavit is 4 years old. The information in the motion to reallocate is 4 years old. And the only reason the complaints exist again is because she's not with me once again. And if I let her come back again, whoop, the complaints will be once again be satisfied. This is a game and a ploy that Heather Seabolt is playing as a rebel from West Virginia. Does not care about Ohio law, does not care about the penalty of perjury, does not care what's in the best interest of the children, does not care to lie to the judge, and nor does her attorney mind at all lying in open court on court record for her attorney. This is what I mean when I say Nikki Reed lied, and she knew it was a lie because she was aware of the information the second time, which she also omitted. It did not put into the affidavit the second time or the third time, purposely leaving out events that she physically knows that they took place, because I went and I met her in person and talked to her and spoke to her in person. She knows. So that's what I mean when I say that Attorney Reed knows. Okay? Continuing on.
Okay. In fact, you know what? I'll be right back. I got something I want to go grab real quick. So this, if you can see the thickness of that, this is my files. These are mine. My daughter's almost 7 now, so I've had these for almost 7 years. So, if, I don't know if you can see, let me see this here. If you can see the difference in the thickness and the piles of these files here, that seems to be like a pretty big difference. As a for instance, this one is just too, see, this. Now let's look at this one. Let's look at my files and see what the truth is in my files. Oh, wow. Let's see. Ooh. What a difference in files, eh? Yeah, that looks a little different. Wait. Yeah, I'm thinking these files looks a little different from these files. And I bet you the truth are in these files. These files are illegal. It's perjury. It's perjury to sign an affidavit with your name, duly sworn as a sworn statement, and file it. It's illegal to even have it notarized. But to file it through a court, that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level. It's perjury nonetheless, with just a signature and a notary stamp. But to file it, you're, and especially in a time of CV-19, you're going to waste the court's time. You're going to attempt to deceive the courts. That's not a good thing to do. To abuse the court system, due to the current CV-19, what's going on, use and abuse the CV-19 as an excuse to use and abuse the court system of any state, let alone, I'm just saying, it's definitely wrong. To be an attorney and know, A, you have zero shreds of evidence to back up any statement on the affidavit, means the affidavit should never be filed with zero evidence. You can't just make wild allegations against somebody and go on a fishing expedition. It's corrupt to file an affidavit with zero evidence, no files attached, no audio files, no video files, no picture files, no nothing, no files attached, no proof, no evidence. Your words proves nothing. So at any rate, I find it highly prejudiced, and I find it highly egregious on the attorney's part for filing the paperwork. There's definitely a shocking wow factor, and there's definitely a bad view, a bad angle. There's a definite bad perception of this attorney to file this purged paperwork against me. Is definitely a bad, wrong thing to do. I find egregious, and it's highly prejudiced. You can't file this in a court with no evidence. You're prejudging me. This is with prejudice. You are prejudging me. If you filed this and you have zero evidence, that's prejudice, and that's illegal. That's why it needs to be dismissed with prejudice. So, also, this is dangerous. I'm afraid for my life and my children's lives in the sense of her attempt to deceive the courts through wrongful information by withholding information that's the truth and hiding it and saying, no, this second time didn't happen. Only the first and the third was just 1 and 2. No, you can't skip the second time that you came back and left again so that it's not, you know what I mean, a 3 count, so that it only looks like your second attempt. No, that's illegal. And the attorney knew that you came back here after you left October 31st, 2017. The attorney knew that you came back here on December 25th, 2017, and your attorney knew that you left here January 19th, 2018. 3 years ago, just a couple, 3 years ago today, January 19th, 2021, January 19th, 2018. So, yeah. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So I'm just going to finish out the rest of this little video talking real quick, and then I'm going to get into my actual files here. So, yeah, this is crazy. If I committed perjury on one account, I would be charged and arrested and convicted of perjury by one account. If I lied in any of my affidavit, I would be charged for perjury, arrested for perjury, convicted of perjury, and served time for perjury. Now, I have one question. How many lies do I have to find and prove that she lied in her affidavit, that she purged herself through her affidavit before it's perjury? 1? Does 1 lie? Does 2? 3? Give me the number of lies, whether it's 1, singular, or an actual number. Is it 5? Is it 7? Is it 4 lies? How many lies is 1 lie? How many times do I have to prove that she lied on this affidavit that she purged herself? Because it's very simple. If I'm being summoned to a courtroom, I'm being forced to go there. I mean, somebody is controlling me to go there. Sounds like a controlling individual. So if I'm going to have forced visitation, forced upon me and my children, then somebody's controlling my children to be forced to, for let them be seen. Sounds like a controlling individual. So my question is very simple. How many lies do I have to prove she did in this affidavit that changed the course of the outcome? Because without the affidavit, there was no case. So it definitely changed the course of the outcome of the case if the case would be non-existent without the purged affidavit. So the perjury did change the outcome of the case. Now, if I'm only here specifically summoned because of this affidavit, the first thing to address is the affidavit, not visitation. Let's address the affidavit first. Alright, so...
Okay, so time to stop this one and start a new one.